Hey, what's up guys, and welcome in this new tutorial where I'm gonna show you how to make better tech house hi-hats. So before starting with this video, I would like to remind you that we're only gonna use samples from our sample pack Mirage Volume 3, which is a collection of tech house one-shots, loops, construction kits, serum presets and much more, and you can check it out from the link in the description below. So first of all, let's have a listen to the loop that we already made. So as you can see, we are totally missing the hi-hats part, which we're gonna create now. So let's start with some basic open hi-hats, something like this, and we're gonna create the MIDI, so just a standard open hi-hat pattern. Like this, and we are also gonna add some closed hi-hats. So let's go here. Okay, so now that we have these two standard patterns, we are gonna start with the first technique, which can be used both on the open and on the closed hi-hats. So let's start with the closed hi-hats. So once that you have the sample here, you can go in control, and as you can see, you have this LFO section, which comes really useful for this kind of closed hi-hats. So let's say that we put the volume to 100%. And that we randomize the LFO. So as you can see, the volume of the closed hi-hats is changing in a random way. So we can put this one up all the way to 100%, or we can reduce it a little bit. As you can see, it adds much more movement to these closed hi-hats. We can do the same with the pitch. Here we have to be a little bit more subtle because it really affects the pitch of the hi-hats a lot. So around 5 to 10% is a great reference. And the final thing is gonna be this random pan that we have here, and this basically is randomizing the pan of the closed hi-hats. So once again, I just want to add a bit more movement. Now we're gonna do the same on the open hi-hat. So here maybe we're gonna use only the pitch function, because I think that is the one that works better on the open hi-hats. Yeah, overall you want your OpenHiat to stay more or less consistent, so I wouldn't recommend that much using the volume or the pan function. Just the pitch around 3 to 6, 7% is good. So now another thing that we can do on our hi-hats is adding a bit of degradation. We can do this thing in Ableton with this plugin called Redux. So we have it here on the closed hi-hats. And obviously we can adjust the dry and wet. However, here you have to stay a bit more careful because this can add some unwanted low frequencies, so you might want to add an EQ after this to remove that frequencies. Another way that you can do this is with the D16 Decimort 2. This is obviously a more complete plugin with a lot of presets that can come in really helpful. Yeah, like this, and obviously you can do the same on the OpenHat as well. So we're just gonna copy the Decimort. So for this next trick, we're gonna have to group the closed and the open hi-hat in this hi-hat group. We are gonna add the Ableton vocoder, and we're gonna add the LFO from Ableton as well, right here. The thing that you wanna make sure is that the carrier is on noise, because what we're gonna do is actually gonna add some noise to the open hi-hats. And this is useful in tech house, but you can hear this effect a lot also on some melodic techno and melodic house tracks. So what you're gonna do is gonna change the wave into random from here, and we're gonna map the LFO to the release. So however, it sounds a bit too harsh at the moment, so we might wanna reduce the maximum to around 40%. So instead of going to 100% of the release, it's going at a maximum of 40% of the release time. We can adjust the smoothness. So this is conflicting a bit with the Decimort, so we're gonna turn it off just for this example. And as you can see, you can also adjust the dry and wet, so you don't have to go 100% wet with the vocoder, but you can keep it at around 60 to 40%. Okay, so the final part of this tutorial is going to be focused on the swing, and this is particularly useful for the closed hi-hats. So I'm going to deactivate all of this. We're just going to focus on the closed hi-hats, and we're going to go into the groove section. As you can see in Ableton, we have a lot of grooves. The one that I personally like the most are the MPC 16s. So as you can see, our grid at the moment is divided in 16 small blocks. As you can see here, we have 4, 4, 4 and 4, So this is why it's better to go with the 16th, and the number that you see right next to the 16th is like 54, 57, 61. It's how aggressive the swing is. So I'm gonna load like the 54, the 61 and the 74 so that you can hear the difference. So we're going into the closed hi-hats. To select the groove, you just have to go here and click on the arrow, and as you can see, the notes that we have here for the closed hi-hats have shifted. And this is the 54. Now let's go with the 61. As you can see, much more aggressive. So now let's go back to starting point and let's go with the 74. Much more aggressive. So usually I like to go with the more subtle one, like the 54, 57, 61. These are the ones that could work better with most of the tracks, but you are absolutely free to go a bit more heavy with the grooves. And yeah, basically that's all for this tutorial on how to make better tech house hi-hats. Don't forget to check Mirage Volume 3 from the link in the description below. Let us know what tutorials would you like to see next, and I'll see you soon. Bye.